Yes, good evening. You're very welcome along to Weavers Park, the second meeting in a week between these two sides, Drogheda United and Sligo Rovers, as we spoke to the managers about there. Of course, last week was the FAI Cup. It was a 2-1 win for Drogheda, who went behind just before half-time. But as we mentioned to John Russell in the build-up there, he was very well aware the performance last week wasn't up to scratch, and he was very honest indeed as well in the post-match interview when he said that his side really weren't good enough and didn't deserve anything from the game. So they'll be hoping for a little bit of a reaction tonight to come out fighting today and to pick up something from this game. Let's have a look at the other fixtures taking place tonight in the League of Ireland. It's Bohemians against UCD, Cork City against Shelbourne. That's a big game at the foot of the table there for Cork, and of course here as well the same applies, Drogheda United and Sligo Rovers. And as I mentioned there, if Drogheda were to win this evening, they would leapfrog Sligo in the table. So big game for both sides as the youngsters from the local area make their way across the pitch to form the Guard of Honour, now traditional here at Weavers Park, for the two sides coming out onto the field. And there's a quick reminder of the league table. Drogheda United in 8th place at the moment on 28 points, Sligo just above them on 29. So as I said, a win for Drogheda would see them leapfrog Sligo in the table and close the gap a little bit on Shelbourne. But I suspect I will see a different Sligo Rovers team this evening than we did last Friday night. The little gathering of Sligo fans over on the far side, and those of you watching on at home I'm sure will be hoping for the same, those of you of the Biddo Red persuasion. Let's have a look at the teams. And Drogheda United have made just one change from the side that had that win in the Cup last week. Ryan Brennan is out injured. He picked up a knock in that Cup game last Friday, so he's out, and he's replaced by new arrival Kyle Robinson, who came on to good effect last week and won that penalty which involved Daniel Rafferty. More on him in a moment because of course he is suspended. So the team in full is Andrew Wogan in goal. The back four will be Evan Weir, Conor Keeley, Manny Adegboyega, and we think it'll be Darren Noon possibly filling in on the other side. And then in midfield it'll be Gary Deegan, and it'll be Luke Heaney alongside him, and then it will be Darren Markey, Adam Foley and Dale Rooney in behind the lone striker. That will be Kyle Robinson. In fact, it will be Luke Heaney. I suspect that will be at right back for Drogheda tonight. And for Sligo, they've made two changes to the side that lost here last week. Of course, one of them is Daniel Lafferty, who is out for that 6-game suspension. We did put it to John Russell, as you would have heard there, what the story was with that. They have appealed it, so we'll wait and see whether they've any luck with that. It does seem a particularly harsh suspension, but I'm sure the authorities feel like they've good reason to impose it, but we'll see if that's reduced on appeal. The record around appeals this season hasn't been great, so we'll look and see what happens with that one. But the team, as I said, two changes. Luke Browning comes in, and David Cawley also comes in. The man whose testimonial is on the horizon, he is back in the starting line. Frank Levac drops to the bench, and of course, as we said, Lafferty is suspended. So it's Luke McNicholas, Johan Branifault, Greg Bulger, and Niall Morahan. We think Niall Morahan is going to play at left back or at right back possibly, with Branifault moving across to the other side. It'll be Radosavljevic, Lucas Browning, John Mahan, David Cawley, Max Madden, Nando Pinacker and Caelan Barlow. That's your 11 for Sligo Rovers. So Max Madden again, the lone front man. Sligo did switch to two up front midway through the second half last week, and went to 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs, but they lost Daniel Lafferty shortly after that and put pay to any comeback that might have been on the cards for them. Both sides are out onto the pitch now. Conor Kane, incidentally, who you will have seen was announced a little bit earlier today, has returned to Drogheda on loan until the end of the season. And Kevin Doherty mentioned how his contract at Shelbourne is up at the end of the season, so maybe Drogheda United feel like he could return here on a full-time basis. He's not in the squad tonight, not registered in time, but new goalkeeper Colin Cox is indeed on the bench, and he's alongside Colin McKay, both goalkeepers. And then Matthew O'Brien, Jamie Egan, Emery Topku, Aaron McNally, Warren Davis, Michael Leddy and Luke Wade Slater, another recent arrival on the bench as well. And for Sligo, good to see James Finnerty back from suspension. He's back on the bench. Conor Walsh is the sub-keeper. We've got Pedro Martello, Frank Levac, Gary Buckley, Conor Campbell, Kyle McDonough, Conor Reynolds and Owen Elding. So still a few players out for Sligo, notably Rhys Hutchinson, who does offer something different down the flanks. He's going to be out for another little while, but good to see Gary Buckley back. He of course came on last week and he's on the bench again this evening, so it gives him a little bit more defensive stability should he be required. Sligo again in their away kit of white with navy trim, and Drogheda United in their familiar home strip of claret and blue. You're listening to David Sheehan on LOI TV with you this evening, and LMFM.ie and the LMFM app. So wherever you're watching or listening, we hope you enjoy the game. Gary Deegan and David Cawley shaking hands in the middle of the pitch and exchanging pleasantries with the referee. It's Paul McLaughlin this evening. His assistants are Alan Lynch and Chris Campbell, and the fourth official is Rob Harvey. So both sides just into their huddle. There is, as I said, a small gathering of Sligo fans over on that far side. Not as many as were here last week by a long distance, but it's a long distance to come, so it's understandable. Fans wouldn't make the trip twice in 7 days, but still a good number have made the trip over on that far side, cheering on their side. So we're almost ready to go here at Weavers Park. It will be Sligo to get us underway. In the shape of David Cawley, signed in 2012, and as we said, he has that testimonial coming up in just under 2 weeks or so, the 12th of August. Well deserved for him. So John Russell will be really hoping, and I'm sure all the Sligo fans watching on will be as well, looking for a reaction this evening from that disappointing performance last week. Their away form hasn't been great this season. They've only taken 11 points from 36, and the last win came on the 1st of May, but they'll be hoping to arrest that particular statistic this evening. We're underway here. Straight away, Mata going up against Evan Weir. He pulled out right and wide from that kick-off and went up with Weir, and that's good defending from McNicholas. Had to come out to the edge of his box and get a header on that one. Branafalk is under pressure. He is at right back this evening, and it's Niall Morahan at left back, it looks like, with Pineacker and Bulger at the moment. It seems possibly a back to him. I think Bulger's just dropped in to take possession, maybe from the short kick out. We'll keep an eye on that formation as the game goes on. We did think they might switch to a 3-5-2, an attacking 3-5-2, and maybe a 5 when they're defending Sligo, because the wide players didn't really give them a huge amount last week, and Max Mata service to him was really poor. He's taken down a good ball there, and he's played one outside. He's going to have to be on his toes here. He does really well against Rado Savljevic, the man who was fouled for the penalty last week. Good defending from Luke Heaney, such a versatile player, the Duleek man. He can do a job in centre field, he can do a job at right back, which is a job he's been asked to do more and more frequently over the last season or two. He never lets Kevin Doherty down. Here come Sligo with a short throw in. Worked in, but it's intercepted by Heaney, and now Noon plays one, but he's given it away to Bulger. Sligo have possession over on that far touchline in front of the clubhouse. It's come back. Morahan plays it across the centre to Mahan inside the centre circle. Branafalk plays one forward towards Max Mata just outside the box, and Adegbayega's clearance, I don't think it quite went where he wanted it to go, but it's gone out for a throw in to Sligo, just about level with the edge of the box. So it looks very much like a flat back four for Sligo. Mahan and Pineacker with Morahan on the left side and Branafalk on the right. There's a little bit of a guessing game sometimes with formations when players are out injured or suspended, as is the case with Lafferty, who of course was left back last week. Again, Mata gets up and wins the header just inside the end line, but Drogheda to get it away. Mahan though picks it up and plays it to Pineacker inside the centre circle. Robinson puts the pressure on him. Pineacker plays one short to Mahan and gets it back. Plays a long left-footed ball forward up towards Mata. Keeley gets up. Adegbayega just stood in behind to sweep up any breaks that came his way, but it was Keeley who won the header. Branafalk headed that one up in the air, didn't quite know where it went. And now it's been hooked forward straight up into the air. Scrappy enough spell of possession here, a spell of play here. Rado Savljevic gets it, takes it away from Noon. Tries to slip one down the left-hand channel towards Max Mata, but Adam Foley is back there defending and did really well. Foley's been in such good form at the moment, getting that equaliser last week before Ryan Brennan's penalty, won it for Drogheda. Man gets ahead on that one up towards Mata, and Adegbayega miscues his clearance, and now Mata can take this one down. He gets a flick on it, hooked away by Adegbayega. It's been a really scrappy opening to this game. Just 3 minutes gone, but the ball has spent more time in the air than on the ground, and that's a good strong header by Morahan. There's a Drogheda player down, it's Adam Foley, who just felt the back of his head there, but it was a strong challenge by Morahan, who got up well to win it. You throw in to Drogheda over on the far side of the field, which Luke Heaney will take. I talked about Sligo's away form, no win away since the 1st of May. Was the win against St. Pat's, which brought an end, if memory serves me correctly, to Tim Clancy's time in charge at Richmond Park. Drogheda's home form hasn't been stellar either. They've only won 3 from 12, won 3, drawn 3 and lost 6, so they have been decent at home. They haven't put in too many flat performances, but they haven't taken as many points as they would have liked for all that. Throw into Sligo over on the far side of the field, which Moorhan will take. And we can see those Sligo supporters who've travelled across on your screen. Throw in taken just in front of them down the line. A little push in the back there, looked like from Heaney. Referee says no, play away. Adegbaye gets it off Deegan. He's under pressure there from Rado Sabljevic, and he's fouled. Adegbaye looked a little bit on the soft side, but free kick to Drogheda nonetheless, just inside their own half. Gary Deegan will take it. In fact, he's going to leave it to Manny Adegbaye. Gavin Weir is free over on this far side. He's trying to drift in. It's a long one, and the wind seems to be behind Drogheda in this first half. Whatever breeze is here, but it's gone straight into the hands of Luke McNicholas, who has been played every minute of the season so far for his side. No Richard Brush tonight, of course. He was sent off last week as well, so suspended at the moment. And it's Drogheda on the attack, and Mark, he just tried to slip it down the right hand side towards Foley, but it was intercepted, and it's gone all the way back to the keeper again. As I said, it's Conor Walsh, the sub keeper this evening, who's 17 years of age, as is Andrew Wogan, who's been the number one for Drogheda now for 6 or 7 matches, and he's done really well since he's come in, and apparently already attracting interest from across the water. Drogheda will be keen to hold on to him. Max Madden now on the halfway line, plays it back, and it's Browning, a man who was born in Drogheda. Brana Falk rolls it back to Browning again. 24 years of age, and now it's with Paliнаcker, who has Moorhan over on the far side should he choose to use him. He doesn't, he takes it past Kyle Robinson, plays it to Mann, who's been stripped of possession by Rooney, but the ball didn't break to a Drogheda shirt, much to Rooney's annoyance. Moorhan again over on that far side. Browning. Brana Fox made a good run down this right hand touchline. That's a beautiful ball to him as well, and a good touch by the Swede. Nicks it past Weir, and now Barlow has a chance to fire one across the face of the goal. It's been spilled by Wogan, it's been cleared away by Adegbaye. Drogheda fortunate there to escape without conceding. It was a really good switch of play across here towards Brana Falk. His little touch just bounced up. He toe poked it past Weir, who was caught a little bit flat footed, and Barlow fired a shot. It bounced up in front of Wogan, and he just parried it. And Adegbaye was there to clear the ball from danger, but it's not gone yet. Another ball into the square, into the box, I should say, and it's again Barlow was in there sniffing around, and it's been played back from well inside the Drogheda half to McNicholas. I'm not sure Sligo necessarily needed to do that. Takes a little bit of the impetus out of the attack that they had going, and they've lost possession high up the field now, and just as well Browning intercepted that one, because it was a pass attempted by Foley through towards Dara Markey, and it was intercepted by Browning. But that was a really good switch of play across. I think it was Browning that hit the pass to Brana Falk, and he nicked it past Evan Weir, and Caelan Barlow got in, and Andrew Wogan did well to get down behind it, but he would have been disappointed perhaps not to have held on to that shot, and Adegbaye spared his blushes, got it away. Sligo certainly looking a lot more positive and playing with a lot more intent than they did last week, even at this early stage. We've had just shy of 8 minutes at Weavers Park. Mahon looks down the line again towards Barlow, and Weir gets up. It goes over both players' heads, and Weir cuts back inside, does really well there. Evan Weir plays a nice ball inside. He was caught late there by Cawley, but I think he's okay, and the referee didn't see anything in it. It was nothing challenge really from Cawley, in fairness to him. Heaney comes away with it. He was caught just really well there, Luke Heaney, and then he's caught very late, but referee will play the advantage. I won't be surprised if he comes back to Browning for that challenge, but here's Rooney. He's got Markey outside, and Brana Falk has 2 players to deal with here. He puts the hands behind his back as Markey tries to get to the byline and get the cross in. Good defending from the Swede, gets the block on it. Back to Evan Weir again. He's going to be on his right foot here if he tries the cross. He gets it back from Rooney, and it's across the face of the goal. It came off Bulger, skied into the air. It's not away yet, and Mahon was caught late there by Evan Weir, and that's going to be free kick, but I think the referee's going to call Luke Browning over now for a booking for that tackle on Heaney. It is indeed a yellow card for the Sligo midfielder, so an early booking for him. Going to have to watch himself for the rest of the game. And let's just see a replay of that attempted cross from Markey. It was blocked away. We're a little 1-2 with Rooney, and then the ball was cleared. It was Pineacker, in fact, that booted it up into the air, and then the challenge from Weir on Mahon was a little bit loose, and he's maybe a little fortunate not to pick up a booking there, Evan Weir. Elbow did seem to be out a little bit. No action taken by the referee though. He did, however, go back to book Browning, so Lucas Browning goes into the book, first booking of the evening, to the Sligo midfielder. Wogan boots that one long through the middle for Robinson to chase. It's his first start tonight. Kyle Robinson came off the bench to make his debut against UCD a couple of weeks ago, and then of course came on last week to good effect to win that penalty, which ultimately won the game for Drogheda. Mahon cross for McNicholas. He has to do a bit of work to get onto that one. Inside penalty area, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. McNicholas, he's taking his time and looking for his options. He gives it to Pineacker on the left hand side, and now Morahan played forward towards Radosavljevic. In fact, it was Browning who was back there in that left back position taking possession. Morahan pushed up the wing a little bit. Here's Branifalk. Clips one in towards Mata, and Gary Deegan gets back but couldn't get ahead, and a good take from Mata. Would have seen that one late. Here's Bulger. Mata runs into Gary Deegan but makes his way into the edge of the box. Here's Bulger again. Mata makes a run again. He checks back then. He would have just gone offside and the ball didn't come. Browning. Bulger. Branifalk again is pulled wide on this near side off camera. Radosavljevic. Morahan back to Radosavljevic again. Good play from Sligo, just as I say it. The pass is overhit, and it's gone out for a throw in to Drogheda, just about halfway inside their own half in front of that Sligo bench. So 11 minutes gone. Drogheda United 0, Sligo Rovers 0. The best chance of the game coming to the visitors when Caelan Barlow cut in from the right hand side and fired a first time shot which Wogan parried, and then Adegbayega cleared it away before anyone in the white shirt could get onto it, because it would have been an open goal had a Sligo player gotten there first, but luckily for Drogheda, Manny Adegbayega was on the spot and got it clear. McNicholas again on the edge of his box, just taking his time here. He's been closed down by Robinson, and now Rooney and Markey put the squeeze on. That's been a trademark of Drogheda's play this season. Sligo have given it away. It was a really loose pass, no look pass so to speak there from Browning. Didn't look where he was putting it and gave it straight to a claret and blue shirt. Orchestrators have their own problems there, Sligo Rovers. And they've conceded a throw in over on the far side again. You just see that pass was played short to Mahon, and straight away Rooney, Markey, Foley all sprung forward to put the pressure on. And the referee has asked Drogheda to take that throw in again. David Cawley, a man who fired those two quick goals at the showgrounds Drogheda last season, give them an early lead. There have been plenty of eventful games between these two sides in recent seasons. Last week was no exception. Ball played forward. Conor Keeley taking no chances, getting his head on that one, putting it back up towards Dale Rooney. It's a good bit of play from Mahon, and then Darren Noon can't get his toe on it. Branifalk plays one forward. Adegbayega gets up and wins the header. And now Heaney has it to Noon. Crosses the halfway line. Noon, Darren Markey toe pokes one out towards Rooney on this near side. He finds Evan Weir. Those three, Markey, Weir and Rooney, combining well. Mahon gets a block on that one, but again it just spoons up into the air. Cawley now can tidy up the pieces here, and it's good play from Mata. He has it again. Browning back to Pineacker on the edge of his own box under pressure from Robinson. He finds a good ball to Radosavljevic. He plays the first time ball back a few yards to Bulger, and the attempt to pass over to the left hand touchline was blocked by Noon. It's going to be a throw in to Sligo Rovers, just shy of halfway. 0-0 here if you've just joined us. 13 and a half minutes gone. Deegan Evan Weir makes himself available. And he'll cross halfway, just about 15 yards in from the near touchline. 1-2 with Deegan and back to Conor Keeley. Big centre half. He's been outstanding for Drogheda this season since coming down from the Northern Irish League. Weir again, little drag back under pressure from Mahan, does well to get it away, and he's not happy about that challenge, Evan Weir, but I don't think there was anything too malicious in it. An honest attempt to win the ball, and then Noon's giving it away again, trying to find Evan Weir. Giving the ball away a few times so far tonight, Darren Noon. Cawley, Bulger, Brado Sabljevic. Sligo just looking to build again. Barlow hits the deck and referee says play on, and Keeley can go back to Andrew Wogan on his left foot this time. He's got good kicking with both feet, Wogan. Comfortable whenever the ball comes to him, the ball at his feet. Noon plays it forwards, finds a good ball to Robinson, and he's got Rooney making the run, but that's good play from Brana Falk. In fact, the flag goes up. I think the referee could have played advantage there. It was a good ball into midfield to David Cawley, but the referee brought it back. So bang on the quarter-hour mark. No goals here, but Sligo, as I mentioned already, definitely look a lot better in these early stages than they did probably at any point last week. They were really flat. Drogheda bossed it for most of the game, even though they went behind Drogheda in the run into half-time. Sligo certainly look a lot more up for this one tonight. McNicholas tries to play one across to Branifok. He completely overhits that one, and it's going to be a throw-in to Drogheda. Kevin Doherty will be happy with that, forcing Sligo to play a long ball out and putting it out for a throw-in. Evan Weir will take it. The referee is telling them to watch his step there and not creep too far forward. Rooney tries to find Weir down the left-hand side. Branifog will just see that one out for a goal kick, will he? He does indeed, just about. Weir was trying to force the corner, but was unable to do so. So it'll be a goal kick for Sligo Rovers, which McNicholas will take. We talked about the Sligo injuries. Well, Drogheda, of course, as I mentioned in the build-up there, no Ryan Brennan for them, and still no sign of Charles Jones. And Dylan Grimes was trying to before the game, and he said he's had a scan in his knee and he's got a few little issues to sort out, so I'm not quite sure when he's going to be back. Jones reckons he'll be back training shortly. But the addition of Conor Kane, as we mentioned, does give Drogheda a few options at left back should Evan Weir pick up a knock, because Charles Jones was the cover for him and he's been out injured for quite a while. And Kane hopefully be back, as Drogheda fans will be delighted to see him back in the claret and blue. Mahan collides with the advertising hoarding there. He's okay. It's going to be a corner to Drogheda United, the first corner of the game. And the big men go forward. Luke Heaney has stayed back inside the centre circle, but everybody else from a Drogheda perspective is forward. Deegan and Markey are on the edge of the box. Everyone else is inside. And it will be Rooney to take this corner with his left foot in towards the near post, headed away well by Bulger. Got there first was the captain last week, but David Cawley, of course, taking the armband this week. Two vastly experienced campaigners in that Sligo Rovers midfield. Here's another one. Gary Deegan finds Foley over on that far side, and Deegan in an unusual position for him on the left flank. Is he going to try and swing across in, or will he look for a little bit of support? Get support from Foley, and that pass was just a little bit short, but it made it to Noon. There's a chance for Adegbayega, and he just can't keep it down. Went just beyond Robinson. Adegbayega took a touch, fired it over. Just maybe just needed to wait a split second longer for it to drop. There it is. It just went. In fact, Robinson got a touch, took a touch as well. Adegbayega, and just hit it on the rise, and it went over the bar. Really good opportunity for Drogheda. Goes a begging. It's good play on the right hand side from Gary Deegan. He's not a man that pops up in those sort of positions too often, but he did well to work it to Foley, and near miss for Drogheda. And they've given it away again, Sligo, in their own half. They've won it back though. It's also a great ball from Rooney, and Evan Weir, I think, maybe felt like he had to make that foul on Barlow, but it was poor play again from Sligo in their own half. They've done that a few times in this game so far, giving the ball away in dangerous positions. Mahan Browning comes short, takes it halfway inside his own half. Finds Morahan over on the far side. Cuts in field. We talked about versatility. Niall Morahan certainly falls into that category, a bit like Luke Heaney for Drogheda. He'll do a job wherever he's asked to go. He was in midfield last week, he's at left back tonight. Throw in on this near side to Drogheda. Evan Weir will take it. Fans beneath us trying to get a bit of atmosphere going. Not a huge amount to shout about so far, Drogheda. For Drogheda supporters, chance for Adigbayego is the closest they've come. The only chance they've really created in this game so far. Mahan gets ahead on that one, hooked away by Barlow, only as far as Weir. Markey now just helps it on towards Robinson, but good defending from by Branifolk. Browning returns Keely's header, and then Keely skies one into the air. We've had a few of those up and unders tonight so far. Noon gets a flick on it, but it breaks in midfield to Cawley, and that's good play for Mato Sabljevic just to keep the possession for his side. Browning, Pineacker left-sided centre back. Here's Mahan making himself available on the near side of the field, but he's gone instead to Browning, and he's gone all the way back to McNicholas. Branifolk again is available on this near side, but again Drogheda, you just feel are waiting for that short pass to come so they can spring that press. McNicholas slips a nice ball to Bulger. He spins away from Markey. Good play from Greg Bulger. Tries to help it forward towards Morahan. He gets a little touch from Mata over in front of the Sligo dugout now. Morahan under pressure from Heaney. He's a hold of the Sligo player's arm. Referee says play on. Browning, Bulger. Browning again. Crowded space over on that far side. Markey has won the throw in off Morahan. Good defending, good play from Darragh Markey, putting the pressure on. And the ball came off the Sligo player last. It's gone out for a throw in to the home side. Heaney will take it. Down the line towards Robinson, who's pulled out to that left hand side. It's Evan Weir. Rooney makes a little run in behind Branifolk. Is he going to get to that one, or will the Swedish defender do that? And he does really well there, Branifolk, and nods it back to McNicholas. Rooney just came short and then spun in behind Johan Branifolk, but the 25-year-old Swedish player got back well and nodded it back to his goalkeeper. 5 assists from Branifolk this season so far. He's looking to add to that tally tonight. He hasn't had a huge amount of opportunities to get forward, but the one time he did was the chance that was created for Barlow, so it's something that Drogheda need to be aware of. As I said a little bit earlier, probably something that Sligo didn't do enough of last week, getting their two fullbacks forward enough. Lafferty and Branifolk. Branifolk has already made a decent contribution going forward in this game. We'll be hoping to do more of that as the game progresses. Almost 22 minutes gone, so approaching the halfway point of this first half. Still 0-0. Deegan just inside the Sligo half of the field. Foley back to Heaney. Goes up into the air, and Noon tries to win the header, but it's broken to a white shirt, and now ball played through towards Mata. Keely comes across and he gets that one away. Again, straight ball through the middle for Mata to chase. That was a little bit similar to what was happening last week. He really didn't get great service, Max Mata. I can tell you that Shelburne have gone 1-0 up against Cork City. Harry Wood with the goal on 20 minutes. Big goal for Damien Duff's side there. Evan Weir will take a throw in just inside the Sligo half of the field. Markey came short and looks a little bit vexed that he didn't get the ball. Comes again Markey, and instead Weir goes towards Rooney, but it was intercepted. Adigbayega gets a touch on that one, and it finds its way to Heaney. Pineacker. Robinson looking to cut off the pass back, but it's found McNicholas. He gets it up towards Rado Sabljevic, and now Mahan has it. And Bulger just plays a nice square ball to Branifolk, who can make a little bit of ground then this near side. Browning again, picked up that yellow card a little bit earlier on. Now here's Bulger pushing forward halfway inside the Drogheda half of the field. A nice ball around the corner. The flag stays down and Cawley's in. He's going to score against Drogheda again. He hasn't. He's at the post. The second one is in. It's gone in. Cawley got in behind. The shot came back off the post. Rado Sabljevic shot it up. I think it was Luke Heaney on the line who couldn't quite get his head or get enough of his head on it to keep it out. and it's gone into the back of the net, and Drogheda United find themselves 1-0 behind. And Sligo, they made much a better start to this game compared to last week. They were unlucky not to score a little while ago when Caelan Barlow got in behind, but this time around they've made no mistake and they lead by a goal to nil. And it's Stefan Radosavljevic with the goal, his first of the season. And as I said, they got in behind a little bit earlier on, Sligo, and should have scored really on that occasion had somebody been alive to the rebound, but they've gone ahead in this one. They have been the better side so far. I think it's fair to say marginally, not a huge amount in it, but I think they have been more progressive than Drogheda, who've been a little bit flat so far. And Sligo find themselves a goal to the good. We've had just shy of 25 minutes at Weavers Park. Stefan Radosavljevic with his first goal of the season. He won the penalty at that end last week, and this time around he's gone one better. Put his side a goal to the good here. So again, the damage down the Drogheda left. Cawley did really well. Good strike from him across the face of the goal. Came back off the post. I thought it was actually going to go wide at the far post, but came back off the post into play. And Radosavljevic was in the right place at the right time to fire it home. I think it was Heaney on the line. He just couldn't do enough to keep it out. It was a powerful strike from the man who came in from Torshavn in the Faroe Islands, 22 years of age. It's his 23rd league appearance of the season and his first goal. So Sligo lead by a goal to nil. Well, in fact, it isn't his first goal, is it? Because he won goal of the month only recently. So status isn't correct, but he's given them the lead here. And as I said, Sligo good value for it, I think, over the course of this opening 25 minutes or so. So Drogheda with a little bit of work to do now. They found themselves 1-0 behind last week. That was against the run of play. It's not the case this evening. Sligo have been deserving of that lead. So it's going to be a throw in on this near side. That's with Mahon. But Robinson's been working hard along the front line there, but he's not managed to do any major damage just yet. It's the fourth goal of the season for Stefan Radosavljevic. I was doing him out of a few goals there. A really good finish came to him. He had to react quickly to it, and he kept it down well, and in it went. Here's Evan Weir getting forward, slips one towards the edge of the box towards Robinson, but again Nando Pinacker is there to get it away. It's going to be a throw into Drogheda. Inside there, the attacking third. It's headed away, and again Nando Pinacker gets a good head on that one. Breaks back towards Deegan. He wants Heaney to come towards it, and Max Matta got there first. Here's the goal scorer over on the far side, halfway inside his own half. Just puts his foot on it. Takes a bit of time. There's Cawley. He's been really good in this game so far, Cawley. Made good use of possession when he gets it. He might have a testimonial coming up, but he's got plenty to offer Sligo still. Number 22, Brandon Falk. McNicholas takes a touch and finds Nando Pinacker in that left-sided centre-back position. Back to McNicholas again. Forward towards us. A late challenge there from Adam Foley. There's a loud yelp out of Nando Pinacker. He's gone down. He looks like he's in a little bit of discomfort as well, and the referee is going to call for some attention to the big Kiwi defender. You might see that again. I'm not sure there was any nastiness in that challenge from Adam Foley. He wouldn't be the sort of player to put himself about like that, but he's got a yellow card for his trouble. You might see a replay of that in a second. Just a late challenge. Might have just caught Pinacker on the ankle of the foot. And Pinacker hopefully will be okay. He was decent last week in a losing cause. Here it is again. And I think he just caught him on the inside of his foot, the inside of the right foot, a painful one with the studs there. So be a little bit of bruising for Pinacker in the morning when he wakes up. But I suspect he'll be okay. It'd take a lot to put him out of the game. He's just going to go off for a moment, I would say, and then come back on. In fact, he's staying on. Oftentimes the referees make the players go through that formality of walking off the pitch to come straight back on, but on this occasion Pinacker's not having to leave. He's back up and he's okay, and his side have a 1-goal lead here as we approach the half-hour mark at Weavers Park. Mahon. Shout comes from Barlow, but it's up towards Mada, and he flicks it on to Caelan Barlow, man who came close to opening the scoring before Rado Sabljevic did just that. Browning, Barlow again, plays it back towards the edge of the box, but Heaney's there, and Morahan was coming in to close him down, but Heaney got it away, and here is Pinacker happily recovered. A nice touch from him to kill it, and then plays one down the left hand side, but the flag has gone up. It was Morahan who was creeping forward down that side, but the assistant referee on this near side was quick to call him back. So it will be a free kick to Drogheda United just on the edge of their own box, and it's Drogheda United 0, Sligo Rovers 1. Stefan Radosavljevic with the goal, giving his side a valuable lead here. It's going to be a throw in over on the far side now to Sligo, and they'll be happy enough to just take a little bit of the sting out of the game. Drogheda haven't quite been at it tonight so far, I think it's fair to say. A little bit of intensity or sharpness maybe missing from their game. Here's Conor Keeley just inside his own half. He's got Weir pulling wide on this near side. He's gone all the way back to Andrew Wogan. A long diagonal ball forward towards Rooney, but it's gone off the head of Branifalk, and it's gone out for throw in to Drogheda United, taken quickly towards Deegan, but well, he lost it, but he won it back straight away, and then lost it again with a challenge from Barlow, and Cawley helps it on to Browning. Here's the goal scorer over on that far side. Little tug back off the ball on Rado Sabljevic by Heaney. Referee didn't see anything wrong with that. Browning, or rather Pinacker now takes it up, and then Browning gets it back to McNicholas. Mahon comes forward with it just about halfway inside his own half, clips it forward towards Mada, who's done really well there down on his knees to chest it down to Cawley. He tries to find Barlow. Real tussle for possession between himself and Evan Weir, but that was beautiful play from Max Mada, just going down on his knees to chest that ball down. He's made good use of any of the balls that have come his way, Max Mada, in this game so far, but the service again hasn't been brilliant. He'll fight for everything and win flick-ons and take balls down and bring other people into the play when he gets the opportunity. Bulger has blocked that one out for a throw into Drogheda. Weir takes it short to Rooney, bounces up off his foot. He miscontrolled it slightly and it bounced up and hit his hand. The referee gives a free kick against the Drogheda left winger for handball there. Bulger just down tying his lace, and Sligo just taking opportunities here and there to slow the game down when the ball goes out, and why wouldn't they with that 1-0 lead? Just try and keep things under control. Drogheda need to inject a little bit of urgency into this game if they're going to get back into it, because as it stands it's really Sligo who have control of it. And they have that 1-0 lead. Cawley concedes a free kick and it's going to be Conor Keeley to take it. A little bit of gamesmanship there between the two players, and Keeley takes the free kick right footed over towards that far side. It's a great ball to Adam Foley. Now can he do something? He's got Morahan in front of him. Foley in great goal scoring form at the minute, but out wide at the minute trying to get that cross in. He's been double teamed by a couple of Sligo players and they get it away. Played forward, and Adik Bayega intercepts this one. Plays it forward towards Rooney, but Mahon stepped in well there, read that one. And now it's Branifalk. Looks forward and then looks back and goes back to McNicholas. Mahon. Browning comes short. He's taking his time here, Mahon. And again, a little bit of pressure comes on from Drogheda. Deegan closing down Bulger, but he switches it across to Nando Pinacker over on that far side. Radosavljevic Again, neat and tidy with his touches there, and Weir just has to watch Barlow in over his shoulder, but Andrew Wogan was really alert to that one, and he tries to play one over to Rooney on this near side, but he completely miscues that. Just as I was praising his kicking earlier on, he didn't quite catch that one as he would have wished, and it's gone out for a throw in to Sligo Rovers. We have had 34 minutes in the first half here, and it's still Drogheda 0, Sligo Rovers 1. Stefan Radosavljevic's goal giving them the lead. 24th minute. So Drogheda really haven't troubled Luke McNicholas at all in this game. Adegboyega had the best chance, but he couldn't hit the target with it, and that's a risky enough pass again from Browning towards Brannefalk. The Swede did well to get back and win, and again Max Mata wins the header. Heaney read it though and got it away. Adegboyega wins it from Max Mata, and Foley has it over on that far side, just helps it down the line towards Robinson, and the clearance has gone out. We throw into Drogheda. Heaney will take it. Kevin Doherty's over there issuing instructions to his side. Heaney takes it short to Markey. His touch just bounced up a little bit on him. Drogheda wanted the free kick there, but it would have been pretty soft. And Markey has won it back from Browning. And the attempted cross from Foley, it's been blocked out and it's gone up onto the roof of that away stand over there. The ball won't be coming back anytime soon. Oh, in fact it has dropped down. It's going to get stuck in the gutters up there, but it drops down on top of the Sligo fans. They almost had themselves a souvenir. It's going to be a throw in which Heaney will take. Foley tries to hook it across the goal, but only drops onto the head of Browning. Heaney again puts it into the edge of the box. Mahan does well to get ahead on it, and now Barlow can lift the siege. He tries to switch it across. It was crossed wires there, I think, between Max Mata and Barlow. Mata had made a run from out to in, and the ball went the other direction. Noon flicks it forward towards Foley, and he's been fouled, has he? No. Referee says play on. The assistant referee was close enough to spot that if it had been a foul, so the correct call, you'd have to say. Again, Pineacker just boots this one forward. Heaney gets up and wins the header. And now Keeley and Adegboyega between them. Well, it's Adegboyega who picks it up. And now Evan Weir can charge forward down this near side. Rooney, he's got Brannefalk for company as usual. Going to have to try and get it in his right foot, and he does. It's not his favourite one, but he did well there. And again, it was Pineacker got his head to it. Heaney, Markey, Weir, Keeley. Now Rooney on this near side. Will he get the cross? And he does. It's over towards the back stick. Robinson gets up and wins the header, but he was under pressure there and couldn't direct it onto the goal. So another half chance at best, you'd say, for Drogheda goes astray. And they still haven't worked Luke McNicholas in that Sligo goal. Remember, Caelan Barlow had that shot which was well saved by Andrew Wogan and cleared by Adegboyega, and then he had no chance really for the lead goal. Cawley's shot came back off the post, and Radosavljevic finished it brilliantly from close range. And Luke Heaney on the line couldn't head it away, only managed to put it into the roof of the net, but he had no chance really from the distance that Radosavljevic hit it from. Here's Markey now halfway inside the Sligo half. Drogheda with just about 7.5 minutes to go to half time. We'll try and push for an equaliser before the break, but they've just been a little bit off tonight so far. Heaney gets up and wins the ball on halfway. Noon, Adegboyega. It's a good ball from him to Heaney. He's got Radosavljevic closing him down, and he's forced back. That's good play from the Sligo goal scorer. Keeley plays one forward towards Weir. He gets up and wins the header ahead of Brannefalk, but there's nobody coming in to pick up the pieces there. Would have been an ideal ball for Robinson to get onto. It was a really good win in the air from Weir, but nobody was gambling on Weir winning it and trying to pick up the knockdown. Pineacker, McNicholas on the edge of his own box again, just taking his time. Drogheda United, oh, he's falling over there, McNicholas. Well, for a second I thought Markey was going to get onto it. Just tripped up as he was coming out of his box, but he was able to recover in time and get the pass away. Evan Weir inside his own half. He just side foots it high down the line, but Mahan gets ahead on it. Barlow, nice touch from him. Shouts for handball from these Drogheda players, but didn't look like it from here. Keeley back in the left back position, and he just boots that one back over his head. He had time to take a touch there, Conor Keeley, but maybe should have got a shout from somebody. He just booted it back over his head without really looking. It's going to be a throw into Sligo, halfway inside the Drogheda half of the field. 6 minutes or so to go in this first half, plus whatever is added on. There won't be a huge amount of stoppage time, I wouldn't imagine. There was just that one injury to Nando Pineacker. I can't think of any other stoppages in the half really, so wouldn't expect to see a huge amount going up on the fourth officials board. Here's Barlow right in the corner, gets a really good cross in there. He dug that out brilliantly under pressure from Rooney. It's going to be a throw in to Sligo, which Brandon Falk will take. So Brandon Falk looks up. He's got Cawley nearest to him. I think he's going to go along with this one, maybe towards Mata, who's got Keeley beside him at the near post. Now he just floats one towards Barlow, who's got a bit of space on the end line. Back to Cawley, and it's a good ball across the face of the goal. And again, Adegbayega does well to hook it away. Well, Caelan Barlow found himself in way too much space there, I would have thought, from a Drogheda's defensive point of view, inside the box, and had time to take it down and get the cross in. But Drogheda survive, and now here's Noon, does well to take it around Browning. Tried to play one down the line towards Foley, who was making the run in behind, but Morahan read that one well and cut it out. His pass forward, though, doesn't find Stefan Radosavljevic, and Evan Weir can switch it again over towards Foley. Again, Morahan is there and gets his head to it. Heaney follows up and knocks it forward towards Robinson. He cushions one around the back towards Markey. Bulger is there. Markey gets on it again, gets to the byline. Can he get a cross in? He does. Again, though, it's Nando Pineacker at the near post, gets his chest on it and gets it away up towards halfway, and it's run out of play by Radosavljevic, and it'll be a throw in to Drogheda, which Foley takes back towards Adegbayega. Cawley is closing him down. 41 minutes gone here at Weavers Park. Drogheda United 0, Sligo Rovers 1. Stefan Radosavljevic's fourth goal of the season in the 24th minute has his side one up. Weir down the line towards Markey. Tries to nick it through the legs of Greg Bulger, but Bulger's been around too long for that kind of thing. Knocks it out for a throw in. Weir's ball back to Markey is a poor one. He puts it out for a throw in, and it's been that kind of evening for Drogheda so far. They just haven't been on their game, and just a little bit slack, a little bit loose. And Sligo have been much better than they were last week. I think that's fair to say. But Drogheda haven't been as good by any means. So Kevin Doherty will certainly want to get them into the dressing room and have a few words with them. I think John Russell will be pretty happy with what he's seen so far. He needed a response from his team, and he's gotten it so far. Cawley's been penalised there. I'm not quite sure for what. Maybe just a little bit of a loose tackle, but it looked pretty innocuous from here. So Drogheda will have an opportunity to put the ball into the box as we tick towards half time, inside the last 3 minutes of normal time in the first period. Rooney will take this one left footed, about 15 yards inside the Sligo half of the field, floats it towards the back stick. McNicholas comes, and it's gone over his head, McNicholas, and he takes out one of the Drogheda players. It was Noon. It was an accidental collision, really. Drogheda wanted a penalty for that one. He missed the ball completely, McNicholas, and he ran into the Drogheda midfielder. And Drogheda are back in the box here, and again Robinson's gone down, and he was never going to get a penalty there. It'll be interesting to see that one again. Here it is. So Rooney floats to the back stick. McNicholas goes up for it, and he collides with. He does get a little hand to it, in fairness. I think that would have been harsh. Maybe by the letter of the law, I could say he took out the Drogheda player, but he had his eyes on the ball and got a fingertip to it, and then just collided. He wasn't looking at Darren Noon. Just ran into each other. I think that would have been a little bit harsh, I think would be the word, but I'm sure Drogheda fans watching on and listening in would disagree. I'm sure Sligo fans breathed a sigh of relief though when they saw that collision, because you just don't know sometimes what decisions are going to be given and what ones aren't. The referee was happy enough to let play go on there, and I think it was probably the right call. Here's Evan Weir. Slips one down the line. Mahan steps in well and plays it over to that far side. Mata has to be on his toes there, and he does well to keep it in, and he gets it around Heaney, and he's away here now, Max Matta. Good play from him. He slips one down towards Browning, and he has to be careful here, Luke Heaney, because it's the exact same area that Drogheda conceded the penalty last week, and a rash tackle there could have resulted in another one being given a week on. Now they can break with Darragh Markey, tried to nick it around Brandon Falk. Swedish defender did well, but now Robinson has it, and he can get away from Moorhan down the right hand side. Doesn't have a huge amount of support. Markey is there now. Noon is getting inside the box, and that's going to be a free kick to Drogheda on the end line in a really good position. I think we're going to see if looking for that one. No. Thought for a moment the referee was going to go over and show another yellow card, but just going over to check on the health of Darragh Markey. He's just up and about now, Darragh Markey. So Dale Rooney's going to take the free kick. It's a really good position. It's on the end line and just about at the angle where the end of the penalty area meets the end line, and he's going to whip this one in left-footed. So a really good opportunity for Drogheda to put some pressure on Sligo defence in the closing minutes of this first half. He's pulled it back to Darragh Markey. He has the shot. It's blocked and it's looped over. Just gone over the bar. I think it was Barlow who made the block, and McNicholas was scrambling back, looking very worried indeed. The way he moved there, you knew he was concerned that was going to drop in, but as it was, it landed on the roof of the net, just spun up into the air, just onto the roof of the net. Maybe McNicholas was just being extra cautious there, but onto the roof of the net, and we are into added time here. Corner comes in, and it's Mahan who gets a good header on that one, and Deegan putting pressure on Radosavljevic. Didn't see the board going up, but I would imagine we'd have maybe a minute. Heaney forward, Bulger gets a good header on that one. Now it's Weir back to Markey. He switches it over to that far side. Surely the last opportunity of the half for Drogheda, and it's been cleared by Sligo. Now a chance for them to break. Radosavljevic, he's been taken out of it there by Conor Keeley, and that could be a booking for the Drogheda centre back. And I think the referee's just going to let him away with a talking to there, Conor Keeley, and he's a little bit fortunate. We have had the minute that was announced, and Radosavljevic is picking himself up, the man whose goal has given Drogheda, or given Sligo rather, the lead that they will surely hold now going into the dressing rooms at half time. A little bit of work for Kevin Doherty to do. Side just haven't been performing at the levels that they have been at in recent weeks. Sligo have done well here, and they've certainly been vastly improved on last week. And there goes the half-time whistle. Sligo, as they did last week, went in with a 1-0 lead then. They do so again tonight. They'll be hoping for a different outcome than the one they suffered in the second half last week, but they've certainly shown up a lot more than they did last week in this game tonight. They've performed a lot better, and they have a 1-goal lead, and they're good value for it as well, I think it's fair to say. As the players troop off, Kevin Doherty will have a little bit of work to do with that half-time team talk, just to gee his side up a little bit. A couple of the Sligo players are talking to the referee, Brandon Falk and Mahan, and now John Mahan is having a conversation with John Russell and Ryan Casey. And here's the first chance of the game. Barlow's shot fired across the goal, and Wogan got a hand to it, and Adegboyega completed the clearance. So they were given an early warning down that side. Brandon Falk just took the touch and knocked it past Evan Weir, who was caught a little bit flat-footed. Shot was saved by Wogan, and Adegboyega completed the clearance. And here's Drogheda attacking down the right-hand side. This is a chance when Adegboyega just couldn't keep it down. It was Foley and Deegan who combined well. The ball was in from Noon, helped on by Robinson. Might have just taken a nick off John Mahan. Dropped beautifully for Manny Adegboyega. He took a touch, but he just couldn't keep it down. That's as near as Drogheda have come to scoring here. This might have just come back off the tie of Mahan, and Adegboyega just inches away. He just couldn't keep it down. One of those balls that's on the rise, and he just couldn't get his foot over it enough to find that top corner. Here's the lead goal for Sligo. It was good possession play inside their own half. And then Bulger, again it's down this side where they had the chance from Barlow. It was a lovely little slip ball through from Barlow, I think it was, to Cawley, and then Radosavljevic reacted really well. He didn't have any time to waste with that one. Hit it first time with that left foot, and Luke Heaney on the goal line could do nothing about it. And that's the goal that has Sligo in the lead here at half time, as the youngsters come out onto the pitch. So Sligo supporters who are watching on, and the ones over on the far side there, will be very much more happy than they were last week at half time. But certainly they've a little bit of work to do to see this one out. We know what happened in the second half last week, but Drogheda will need to up their tempo a little bit in the second period as well. We're going to take a quick break for half time. We'll be back with second half coverage in around about 10 minutes time or so. Do join us then. You're welcome back to Weavers Park. I'll tell you there have been two changes made by John Russell at half time. Levac is on for Caelan Barlow. He's on for John Mahan. So their injury is laid in on that. They lead by 1-0 at the break, thanks to Stefan Radosavljevic's goal. And Drogheda with a little bit of work to do in this second half to get back into it. They just haven't been quite at their best tonight compared to their usual bustling performances. They don't always, of course, get the result, but they're usually very competitive. They've just been a little bit flat tonight. Maybe that game last week and the manner of the win in their minds a little before the game, they thought that they would have an easy one here, but it's certainly not been the case. Sligo have been much improved from last week for sure as well, but Drogheda just haven't really been at their best. But let's see if they can turn that around in the second half. Here are Sligo in possession though. Here is the goal scorer, forward towards Levac, and he's caught and he's going to get a card. The referee straight into his pocket there. So booking for Levac. He's only been on the pitch a matter of about 50 seconds, and straight away goes into the referee's notebook for that foul on Conor Keeley, and a bit similar to the Adam Foley booking in the first half, just a little bit late. So it's going to be a free kick to Drogheda United. Which Andrew Wogan will take. Long one up towards that far side. It's a good win in the air from Weir, but it's been cleared. So Stefan Radosavljevic's fourth goal of the season has his side in front here, and Alec Boyega is having to work hard. He's given it away though. Max Mata gets in from the right hand side. He's got Cawley nearest to him and Radosavljevic at the back post, and it's played in towards the back stick. It's gone over the goal scorer's head and it's dropped back to Moore. And now here is Radosavljevic into the box. Alec Boyega gets a head on it and away. And now Evan Weir can complete the clearance. And Robinson now, can he get away? No, he's been judged to have committed an infringement there with the referee, and it's going to be a free kick to Sligo Rovers. And it's back with Heinacker. Just wonder how long Kevin Doherty will wait before he makes a change. He doesn't have maybe a huge amount of options off the bench. Warren Davis did come on against UCD a couple of weeks ago and he looked really lively, but they've got Luke Wade-Sader as well, who came in recently enough, the former Bohemians player. Aaron McNally can offer a little bit of something going forward. Michael Eddy, of course, on loan from Shamrock Rovers, but he hasn't really made much of an impression since he came to the club here, so interesting to see what Kevin Doherty does. No Ryan Brennan, of course, this evening. He's injured, picked up a knock in that game last week against Sligo, so not in the squad tonight. So his options, Kevin Doherty, are a little bit more limited than they might normally be. And Conor Kane, as we mentioned earlier, of course, would be a left back rather than an attacking option, but he's not in the squad tonight, having only just signed today from Shelbourne on loan. Matt Nicholas Pynacker. Bulger drops back in between the two centre backs to take possession, as he's done a few times tonight. Deegan putting the squeeze on Pynacker, and Pynacker's attempted pass towards Moorhan has gone out for a throw in to Drogheda United, which Heaney will take. Drogheda fans below us continue to make plenty of noise, and they'll be hoping that will rouse their team into finding an equaliser in this second half. Here's Robinson, spins away, and he's Browning at his back, but he nicks it through the legs of Levac, and now it's with Rooney on that far side. He's got Weir inside him, he plays it in towards the centre of the box, but McNicholas comes out and gathers that one under no great pressure. Pynacker just ducked out of the way and left it to the 23-year-old keeper, who, as I mentioned earlier, has played every minute of the season. The only player in the Sligo squad to have that on his CV this year, and that's gone over the head of Heaney. It's a good ball, and it's Radosavljevic, the Faroese, who got that opening goal. Bulger, that's a really nice ball over the top towards Levac, who's got in behind Weir. Weir gets back to recover, but Levac still has possession inside the Drogheda box. Back to Browning. He tries to angle the cross in, but it's been cleared. Bulger, he won it back off Noon, but it broke for Markey. And now Weir plays one down the left-hand touchline. Good win in the air from Pynacker. Strong one against Robinson. And now here's Bulger again. Hooks it forward. Rooney's touch just inside the Sligo half the field is a loose one, and it's gone out for throw, which Branifock takes nowhere near the right position, and a foul throw as well into the bargain, I think, from the Swede. We saw a couple of them last week in the cup game, and we were saying it on commentary. It's rare that the referees pull it back. I'm not actually sure whether he gave that decision for a foul throw or for the fact that it was taken from about 10 yards up the touchline, but I suspect it was maybe a foul throw that he was pinged for there. In any case, it's going to be a throw into Drogheda, which Weir will take just inside his own half, or inside the Sligo half rather. He's got Robinson down the line from him. He's also got Rooney there. He goes instead towards Robinson, but it's cut out by Bulger. And now Sligo have it just inside their own half. Moorhan, under a bit of pressure there, could only just hike it forward, and Andrew Wogan gathers it. Rolls out in front of himself. We saw the half-time statistics there, and it was 39% possession for Drogheda, which was a long way to explaining why they find themselves 1-0 down. Foley gets up and wins the header. Pynacker. There was a collision off the ball between Foley and Moorhan, and both of them are looking at the assistant referee, pleading their innocence and looking for some action to be taken. I don't think the assistant is going to give them too much of a hearing there. Moorhan will take the throw in. Great to see Gary Buckley back. He did come on last week, of course, which was one of the small silver linings on an otherwise disappointing night for Sligo, but back at the heart of that defence tonight after that almost a year out with injury. It's great to see him back. Wogan just has to mind that one into the box. Levac was putting the pressure on him, but just about managed to cross the whitewash into the penalty area for Wogan to collect. He knocks it long with that right foot. It's caught up a little bit on the wind. Foley wins the header. It was won by Foley, but came back off the head of Moorhan, I think, then, and broke forward. Drogheda United win the throw in. And it will be Heaney to take it. Gets it back off Noon, and it's gone out off Browning for a throw in. And again, Heaney has gone forward about 10 yards here. He's going to have to go back probably a little bit more than that, while the referee's happy to leave it go. Robinson. Deegan gets a toe on that one, and now Noon has it. Plenty of Drogheda players free over on that far side if they can shift it from right to left. It's back with Wogan again. A long one forward again in the direction of Robinson, who jumps up, and he's collided with Pynacker, who's gone down holding his face. Be interested to see that one again. The referee didn't see anything wrong with it, but Browning is absolutely furious, and he's gone up to the assistant. He needs to be careful because he's already been booked. Pynacker. Robinson did take a little look at Pynacker here as he came across, and there was a little bit of an elbow up there for sure. He looked like he just caught him across the jaw. I'd be interested to see that one again, but I can understand why Nando Pynacker has gone down, because that looked like a painful one. You could see it in real time. Robinson just had a little look to his left, and here it is again in slow motion. Just came across, and that was an elbow, I think. There wasn't huge swinging action on it, but he definitely caught him, and I think he'd be a little bit lucky there. The referee is not going to take any action at this point, but I think Kyle Robinson can count himself a little bit lucky to not get at least the booking. And Nando Pijnacker is still down, and that could be a serious enough injury. There wasn't a huge amount of reaction from Sligo players at the time, but certainly when the ball went dead, Browning was straight across to the assistant. And, well, we've seen incidents like that get punished before, but I think maybe the referee didn't have a good look at it. The assistant was right there, though, so John Russell might well be a little bit annoyed when he sees that one back. And Pijnacker is still down getting attention. Drogheda fans are giving him a bit of stick, but he got a right old clatter there. And a few of the latest scores, half-time at Dalymount Park, 0-0 between Bows and UCD. That would be a surprise result if UCD were to hold on for a point there, or maybe nick something. Cork City find themselves 1-0 down against Shelbourne. It's a scoreline that the Leesiders will need to turn around in the second half if they're going to drag themselves away from those bottom two places. Pijnacker comes off to this near side to get some attention, and they've lost one centre-back already in this game, with Mahan departing at half-time. Again, we're not sure if that was an injury or not. I didn't see him carrying a knock, but he was having a perfectly fine game at the heart of the defence, so I'd be surprised if he was replaced for a tactical reason. But Buckley come on for him, and now Nando Pijnacker is in a little bit of trouble. We'll keep an eye on that one. Here's Max Mata at the other end. Adegboyega comes forward with it, and he plays it down the line for Robinson. He's going to chase us when Buckley comes across. I don't think Nando Pijnacker is going to be okay to resume, but he's got to be a little bit shook by that. He would have the option of bringing on James Finnerty, who's just back to fitness himself, should Pijnacker have to be replaced, but he's back on the big New Zealand international, so hopefully he'll be okay. Did look like a decent bang he got across the jaw, but looks to be alright. Adegboyega was fouled there. The referee brings it back for the free kick. Pijnacker still just checking himself a little, but he seems to be okay. Foley gets away down the right hand side with Moorhan for company. And now it's Heaney. Gets the cross in at the near post, but again no one there from a Drogheda perspective, and McNicholas has all the time in the world to gather that one in. Now it's with Buckley. We've had 11 and a half minutes in the second half. It's still Drogheda trailing by that Stefan Radosavljevic goal to 0. Moorhan. Radosavljevic, it's a good ball in field to Colley, who had more room than he realised. I think there he could have taken a turn and moved forward with it. He went back to Bulger first time instead. Bulger again inside his own half, plays one through the centre for Levac to chase, but too easy for Wogan there, a little bit too much on that one. But there's a little bit of an increase in tempo in this game now, and Drogheda could certainly do with that from their perspective. They just were not hitting the heights in that first half that they normally would. Here comes Sligo again, Sligo Rovers. It's Lucas Browning. Levac over on the far side, and he's been fouled. He did well there. Levac, Estonian, who's a fellow countryman, Bogdan Vaschuk, departed the club the week before last. So it's going to be a free kick to Sligo Rovers over on that far side of the field. Buckley's gone forward. Pijnacker still stabbing his face with his shirt. Gone forward as well. Moorhan and Levac are back minding the house. It'll be Brannefalk to take the free kick from just in front of those Sligo fans. Up goes the left hand. In it comes. There's a great whip on that one, and it's in. It's an own goal, I think. Oh, it was a great ball in from Brannefalk. Absolutely fizzed it in. Radosavljevic is running away, but I think that might have come off a Drogheda player last. We'll see it again in a moment. But what a ball in from Brannefalk. We talked about his 5 assists in the first half. Well, he can certainly claim an assist for that one. A brilliant ball in. Here it is again. And I can hard to see there. Was it Conor Keeley perhaps that came off? We need to see another replay of that one to figure it out, but the bottom line is Sligo lead by 2-0. And I'm not just sure, the reaction for Rado Sabljevic would suggest he didn't get the last touch, but it's quite hard to see on that replay. I think it did come off a Drogheda defender. Shrugs of the shoulders all around here in the gantry, so we'll have to wait and see. But in any case, if it is a goal for Rado Sabljevic, then it's his second of the night, but I just looked from his reaction that he wasn't claiming it fully. Here comes Drogheda now looking to get back into this one. Pull back towards Weir. Oh, what a save! What a save by McNicholas. Great play from Drogheda. Down the left hand side, Robinson pulled it back. Markey hit the deck inside the 6-yard box, and Evan Weir coming onto it. And he really should have buried that one, but he gave McNicholas a chance. And the Sligo shot stopper did what he had to do and tapped it over the bar. It's going to be a corner for Drogheda. It's their third of the game. Almost an immediate response from the home side there, and again a shout for handball there. Nothing doing from the referee, and now a free kick for a challenge on Levac on the edge of the box. And there's a little bit of niggle creeping into this game. Tensions rising a small bit there, and well, Rado Sabljevic has been credited with the goal on a couple of the scoring apps, but I'd like to see that one again. As I say though, it really matters little. They find themselves 2-0 up, and it's been credited to Conor Keeley, in fact, as an own goal on the FEI Connect app, and that's what I thought initially when I saw it, so that's what we're being told now anyway. So it did look like from his reaction, as I said, Rado Sabljevic, he was in the vicinity, but he wasn't exactly claiming it the way he ran away. But the ball in from Branafok was an absolute peach. He knew the second he struck it that there was going to be trouble if it came off anybody's head, and as it turned out, it was Keeley who had the last touch, and in it went. And Sligo lead by 2-0. Well, we talked about their away record at the top of the broadcast. Haven't won on the road since the start of May, when they beat Pats 1-0 at Richmond Park, but they're in good shape to end that particular run here tonight. 2-0 up, and we've just passed the hour mark here. And we talked to John Russell before the game about looking for a reaction and what they could learn from last week's performance. Well, they've certainly upped the ante from that FEI Cup clash. They've been much better tonight, and here's Cawley, who's been one of the driving forces for them this evening. Rado Sabljevic on the left hand side. He's got Heaney in front of him. He tries to go around the Drogheda full back, and he's run that one out of play. It's going to be a goal kick to the home side. So Andrew Wogan will get this one away. Had no chance with the goal whatsoever. Either goal really, Wogan. And he gets this one down the other end, and Robinson will chase. And it's back in the centre circle. Cawley gets up with Noon and wins the header initially. And that's Adegbayega. Forward towards Robinson. It breaks back towards Bulger. The Sligo fans who've made the trip here over on that far side will be pretty happy with what they've seen so far tonight. I did say to John Russell before the game if he felt it was a must-win game. I don't think he thought it was a must-win, but certainly it was one they needed to take at least a point from. Well, at the moment they're looking like they're going to pick up all three. It'll be a change now for Drogheda, and it's Darren Noon who's made his way off, and well, a double change. Kyle Robinson has gone as well, and on comes Warren Davis, and Aaron McNally has come in. So Robinson has made way, as has Darren Noon. So a little bit of a change from Kevin Doherty, trying to kickstart his side into gear in this second half. Hasn't happened for them so far. McNally, who filled in at left back for large parts of the season when Evan Weir and Charles Jones were both out injured, and did really well on that left hand side, but he is a right sided player. And that's the position he's taken up here this evening as he comes on. Here's Max Mata. Keeley at his back. Radosavljevic has a lovely little outside of the boot pass to Bulger. Now here's Browning. Picked up an early yellow card, Browning, but he's been very disciplined since then. Davis came on, as I said, against UCD earlier in the season, or a couple of weeks back, and looked really lively. Almost scored an absolute peach from the far side into the top corner. He's on the field now, and Drogheda have rolled the dice here in an effort to get back into this game. The cross comes in for Moore, and it's good blocking there, good defending from McNally. So I would imagine that Luke Heaney will go into centre midfield to replace Darren Noon, who's departed, and that McNally will fill in at right back and maybe give Drogheda a little bit more attacking impetus down that side of the field as the wind starts to pick up here at Weavers Park. Adekbayega steps in there and wins it well. Markey. Rooney makes the run. He's got Davis making the run ahead of him. Here he is, Warren Davis. Runs into a good challenge from Browning there, but he manages to win it back somehow. Markey. Heaney edge of the box. Back to Markey. Gets the shot away, and McNicholas, an unusual save. He put the right foot out just as a bit of security, I think, behind the hands. But again, nice play from Drogheda, but never really seriously threatened Luke McNicholas. Nice little 1-2 on the edge of the box, and the shot from Markey just a little bit too central, and an easy one for the Sligo keeper to gather. Keeley gets ahead on this when it drops to Radosavljevic. He's been all over the field here tonight, the Faroese. Has his goal, but he's been forward, he's been back defending. Here's Browning. Levac over on the far side. He's got Rooney in front of him. Cuts inside onto the left foot. Levac, and then turns back. Browning. Branafog. 6 assists for him now this season after that brilliant ball in for the second goal. Bulger. Halfway inside the Drogheda half. Radosavljevic back to Greg Bulger again. Levac finds Branafog. A little ripple of applause over on the far side from those Sligo supporters, and the hands go up in unison as the ball goes out of play for a throw in to the visitors. It will be Branafog to take it, and again he's in no particular hurry, and he's absolutely dead right. He's got Cawley coming short. Here is the man whose testimonial is on the horizon. Good defending from Drogheda United there, and then Weir gets it away under a bit of pressure. It's only come as far as Branafog. Drogheda United 0, Sligo Rovers 2. 66.5 minutes gone at Weavers Park. Davis tries to get away down that left hand side, but Browning puts in a good challenge, and it's going to be a throw in to the home side. Sells Evan Weir a little bit short there. Mata was putting the pressure on the Drogheda left back, but they've gotten an out ball over here to McNally. His first chance to have a run, and he's been dispossessed. Just a little bit of a heavy touch there. Morahan took it off him, and he finds a nice ball towards Bulger. Adekbayega comes across and blocks that one out for a throw in. So Morahan will take this one. Bulger just issuing the instructions, and looks like he's having a conversation with John Russell over on the far side. Morahan forward towards Max Mata. Markey back to Deegan. Deegan's pass has been cut out by Levac, but he's won it back again. Deegan, and he finds Evan Weir well inside the Drogheda half the field over on the far side now in front of the dugout. They move forward with it. Rooney clips one in behind, but that should be McNicholas as well. Pineacker has left it for his keeper. It's going to break the Foley, is it? It is! Oh, it's a calamitous mix-up in the Sligo defence. And Adam Foley's incredible run of scoring continues. It's 6 and 7 for him now. And Drogheda United find their way back into this game, and really that was a gift. The Sligo Rovers will be absolutely furious with the manner of that concession. It was a hopeful ball over the top. Pineacker and McNicholas almost leaving for each other. Markey got the toe in and hit McNicholas, broke for Foley, and he headed it home from 6 yards out into an empty net. And it's game on here with just over 68 minutes gone. Adam Foley, another goal for him. He's in such great form at the moment. And it's 7 goals for the season now. And 6 in the last 7 games. Here's Adegboyega striding forward. He's crossed the halfway line. Drogheda now with their tails up. Attempt the ball in behind towards Foley, but Buckley read that one well. Takes a good touch. He's been caught by Markey. Well, it's a free kick. Just he got a little bit more of the Sligo player than the ball there, Darren Markey, and Greg Bulger is just telling everybody to calm down. And Matt Pynacker running back towards his own goal. He probably should have just dealt with it, the New Zealand defender. He tried to leave it back towards his keeper. McNicholas didn't get there in time, and Markey just managed to stick out a leg and toe poke it. It hit the Sligo keeper, broke very kindly for Adam Foley, who did well to stoop and head it home. So Drogheda United back in the game. Here's a good challenge from Heaney, and it's broken forward into the hands of McNicholas. And Sligo probably just want to settle things down a little bit and take a little bit of the sting out of this game now. Drogheda have found a new lease of life. And Keeley is shouting towards his keeper. They don't want a similar mix-up at this end of the field, Drogheda. Wogan has it now as we tick towards the 70-minute mark. It was 2-1 last week to Drogheda United. It's 2-1 now to Sligo, and there is a yellow card there for Warren Davis, who the referee is saying had an arm up. I'd like to see that one again. It's Pynacker who's down again. He's really been in the wars in this second half, and Greg Bulger is having a word with Foley, but I think they're just chewing the fat, so to speak. But let's have another look at this one. It was a long one from Wogan, and Davis went up. It's hard to see from this side. Players were facing the wrong direction, but if the referee felt that was an elbow, then you'd wonder why it wasn't a red. He must have just thought it was more of an accident than anything else. But in any case, it's a booking for the Drogheda United substitute, and the Pynacker is going to have a headache when he wakes up tomorrow, I'd say. A couple of incidents he's been involved in where he's just on the wrong end of challenges, aerial ones. But again, let's hope he's okay, because certainly with concussion being such a live issue in football at the moment, the last thing you want to see is someone getting a couple of knocks in the head in a game. And John Russell has taken the opportunity to have an impromptu team meeting over on that far side. Getting looked at again by the physio Ray Finnan. I think he's going to be okay. Pynacker, let's hope so. He's made of tough stuff, the big Kiwi. He's had a couple of knocks now in this second half, and the referee's just checking on his health. Looks like he's going to be okay. Maybe asking for an explanation as to why that was only a yellow. Maybe feels a little bit hard done by there. The game's going to get back underway. We're into the 73rd minute here. And it's going to be McNicholas to take the free kick. His side lead by 2-1. They look to be well in control here, and then that mix-up between himself and his defender for the Drogheda goal has given the home side a lifeline here, which they didn't really look like getting, it has to be said. Hadn't created a whole pile. They find themselves back in contention now after that Foley goal a few moments ago. Here's Deegan to Heaney. And a free kick for a foul on Luke Heaney, and again he's a little bit annoyed about that one. Things just heating up a little bit here. The fans below us are really getting into the game now after Drogheda pulled that goal back. Wogan will take the free kick about 20 yards or so inside his own half. The referee is going over to have a word with Adegboyega and Radosavljevic, who are having a contretemps there. And David Cawley comes across and just tells Stefan Radosavljevic to get away from it. No need for him to be involved. In fact, I think he's making his way off now. Going to be substitute. So on comes Pedro Martello, the man who signed recently from Belenenses. He came on last week as well, midway through the second half, in very different circumstances at that point. The side have a lead tonight, he will come along to try and give Max Mata a little bit of support. So Radosavljevic makes the long walk around. Surprisingly didn't trek across the pitch the long way. He's come off at the nearest exit point, which players are supposed to do, but doesn't always happen. So he's trekking away behind the goal to our left now. Stefan Radosavljevic, after scoring the first and being at close quarters for the second one, but we do believe it was Conor Keeley who got the final touch on that. Throw in over on the far side, which Branafalk will take. We have just a shade over 15 minutes of normal time left here at Weavers Park, so a quarter of an hour or so for Drogheda to get themselves back into this one. They trail by 2-1. Davis putting the pressure on Moore, and it's a good ball down the line towards Levac, who's come over to this left side to get a little bit of joy. He's got Alec Boyega in front of him, the Estonian number 10. Really good defending from Alec Boyega. Won it back, kept it in play, and now Deegan has lost possession to Cawley. Those two have had a good old battle in the centre of the pitch tonight. Now Markey has won it back, and Drogheda can break here. Davis nicks it around. Branafalk, will he get there ahead of Buckley? No, he won't. Buckley read that one really well. Gary Buckley, he might be vastly experienced, still only 29, but he did really well to get across there and close that one out. Great to see him recover from that ACL. Kept him out for almost a year. Nice little dummy from Andrew Wogan. The Drogheda supporters below us love that one. Selling Martello. Buckley gets a little cushioned header on that one to Branafalk in the right back position. Plays it forward towards Martello. Chests it down really well. He's a big man, Martello. John Russell does seem to like it. Big striker. Of course, it wasn't him that signed Max Mata, but Martello, a similar build to the New Zealander. Ball down the line. Buckley comes across, and it's going to run out of play. It'll go out for a throw in to Sligo. And we can all just take a breath. It feels like the game has really ratcheted up in intensity since that Drogheda goal. It would be in Sligo's best interest just to try and calm things down a little bit and not have things quite as frenetic for the last 15 minutes or so. Branafalk with the throw in down the line. It's Keeley who gets his head on it. Nodded forward by Rooney. Pineacker gets it away again. Keeley jumps with Martello. It's broken off the Sligo striker to his fellow frontman Mata. Now it's Moorhan. Browning. McNally does well there to get back, and now Deegan has been, well, the referee's brought it back for the foul on Aaron McNally. Played the advantage, which didn't accrue, and it's going to be Drogheda with the free kick. Deegan looking for some movement. Alec Boyega takes it instead to Markey, who's gone back to Keeley, and he finds Weir with a good ball over on that left-hand side, about 20 yards inside the Sligo half the field. Sips one down the line towards Foley, who's come across from the right-hand side to the left. Weir, Foley, broken back towards Deegan, and he's gone back to Keeley inside the Drogheda half of the field. Alec Boyega threads one through to Markey, and he tries to find Foley. It's broken to Foley, and Bulger did well to win that one back. He wanted a free kick there, Adam Foley. The referee wasn't having it. And he's gone down, the Drogheda goal scorer, holding his, I think it was his left ankle initially. Bulger is down as well. So the two players who've been around the league for a number of years at this stage, both up. I think they're maybe just catching their breath. They're both up and about now. And it's going to be a throw in to Sligo over on the far side, which Branafalk will take. Here's that incident again. Foley and Bulger. It was a fairly innocuous looking coming together, maybe just a little bit of a clash. They're both up and they're okay now. Drogheda have won it back. Here's Rooney. Davis is making a run into the box. Foley has it now. He gets the cross in right footed towards Davis. It's a really good opportunity for the Drogheda player. Is it in? Oh, it's got in. It's 1-2-2. Oh, what a goal that was. Well, it was not exactly a classic, but it was a really good reach and a really good header from Warren Davis from that cross. Broke back to Rooney and he finished it. McNicholas, I thought, had kept it out, but it's found its way into the net, and Drogheda have come from 2-0 down here to level it. It was a great knockdown from Warren Davis. I thought initially he was going to try and head it onto the goal, but I think he did just knock it down into the path of Rooney deliberately. And Rooney got in there ahead of Bulger, I think it was. Just got in front of him, McNicholas, got a touch on it but couldn't keep it out, and Drogheda find themselves level here. Well, you wouldn't have thought that was likely 15 minutes or so ago. Extraordinary game here at Weavers Park. 2-2. We have 12 minutes of normal time to go, and this is really anybody's game now. But Drogheda are the ones with the momentum behind them. Ever since they got that first goal back through Adam Foley, which was a real disaster from Sligo's point of view. It was all of their own making, just indecisive defending. Foley knocked it into an empty net, and ever since that goal has gone in, Drogheda have just had the bit between their teeth. And they find themselves level, but here's a free kick for Sligo in an almost identical position to where they got that second goal from. It'll be Brandon Falk again, and we know what he can do. That delivery to put his side 2-0 up. The ball that came off Conor Keeley was an absolute peach, and here he comes again looking to do something similar. Again, it's a good one. It's towards the back stick, and it's Pynacker, who was all on his own in the centre of the 6-yard box. Couldn't quite grow enough to get ahead on that one, but the Drogheda defence would be a little bit concerned. Gary Deegan looks like he's giving someone an earful, and not surprising really, given that Nando Pynacker is one of the players you would be singling out for some defensive attention from a set piece, and he was all on his own in the heart of the 6-yard box, but he just couldn't quite get his head on that one. But another brilliant ball in from Johan Brandefalk. 2-2 here, and we are almost into the last 10 minutes at Weavers Park. Didn't really look like Drogheda were going to get way back into this game, but that gift from Sligo opened the door, and a second goal from Dale Rooney has levelled things up. Conor Keeley chasing back here. Wogan again comes and gathers it. Dale Rooney, he's been brilliant in the assist department this season, but third goal for him now in this campaign. There's a really good header down from Warren Davis. A good ball in as well. Greg Bulger might be a little bit disappointed that he just was caught on his heels a small bit, and Rooney just nipped past him and headed it home. Nicholas almost kept it out, but it was such a point-blank range header, he really didn't have any chance of stopping it. It's going to be a free kick to Drogheda, or to Sligo, halfway inside the Drogheda half of the field, which Bulger is over at the minute. He's got Morahan down the line from him. And Bulger will take it himself. Right-footed. He's about 15 yards in from the touchline and just about halfway inside the Drogheda half of the field. Plays it towards the back post. Conor Keeley gets up and wins the header. It's going to be a throw in to Sligo, and we were saying it last week, it was 1-1 ticking into the last 10 minutes, and it just felt like somebody was going to get a winner. It turned out it was Drogheda through that Ryan Brennan penalty, and you wouldn't bet against a late winner here tonight either. Both sides will feel like it's there for the taking, and Sligo in particular, having coughed up a 2-0 lead, will be determined to get themselves back in front. Adegboyega comes across and clears it away. Markey flicks it on, nobody there. Pynacker and Morahan between them deal with it, and Morahan plays it back to McNicholas. He plays it first time down the centre, all on his own is Conor Keeley. Flicked on by Heaney in the centre of the pitch. It's broken back towards Martello now. Spins away from Heaney, and he's been dispossessed by Markey, but it breaks back to a blue and white shirt. It's played forward, and Adegboyega gets it away in the edge of the box. It came as far as Martello again, but his ball has only come to Deegan, and now McNally can scoot forward with this one. He's got such a knack of just slaloming past players, and he's done really well. He's found Davis down the right hand side. Can he finish across the face of the goal? It's a great save by McNicholas. Oh, that was going to go inside at the far post. McNicholas got down to it right, got a hand to it, and touched it away for a corner. Well, what a game we have here now. Lovely ball. Davis in. McNicholas got a good right hand on that one, and that was going in. Absolutely no doubt about it. And Warren Davis assisted for one and almost scoring there. We did say he made that impressive appearance off the bench against UCD, but he's come on and done really well here again tonight. Corner into the heart of the box. Keeley gets the header on it. McNicholas gathered it, and he had to hold on to it as well because Adam Foley was sniffing around any rebounds that might have come his way. Nando Pynacker has just gone down on his haunches again. I think he's probably feeling the effects of those couple of knocks. He's been in the midst of everything tonight, the Sligo centre back. Here's McNally again, who's run forward there, created that opening for Davis. Cawley now, nice little back heel to Browning. Inside the last 7 minutes of normal time here, 2-2. It's been a ding-dong second half between these two sides. Looked for all the world at Sligo were cruising at 2-0 up, but coughed up a soft goal, and after that Drogheda just up the ante, up the tempo. find ourselves all square here, entering the closing stages of the game. Levac clips one down the line towards Cawley. He finds a bit of space, he gets a good ball across the face of the goal. He just hits it a little bit too much on that one, and it was over the heads of everybody inside the penalty area. It's gone out for a throw in on the near side here in the Drogheda right back position. Can either side find a winner here? 6 minutes to go. Browning heads it back in, and it's gone over the head of Keeley, and Levac is sniffing around there, and again a little bit of hesitation, but Wogan did well to come out and close it down. And now Keeley has gone down injured, the man who put the ball into his own net inadvertently from that whipped free kick from Branifolk. That looked like it was almost game over for Drogheda, but they managed to find their way back into it. And whatever about the manner of the first goal, Kevin Doherty will be delighted that they forced the issue. Drogheda got themselves back into it and then found that equaliser through Dale Rooney. Wogan kicks it long, a good low trajectory kick from Wogan. Branifolk knocks it back from whence it came, and then Weir heads it down to Rooney, and he wins the throw in off Levac. We are into the last 5 minutes here at Weavers Park. It's been an extraordinary second half, really. Those Sligo fans over on the far side, they must have thought they were going to be going back down the road with 3 points, but the game has turned on its head in the last 15-20 minutes or so. Adegboyega just did really well there. I thought he was going to try and reach for the header, but he let it drop, and then he finds McNally. Deegan. Now Foley, he's got Heaney in front of him, Markey in field of him. Adam Foley, he finds, well, he tried to find Markey, Browning cut it out, and now Morahan under pressure from 3 Drogheda players he lost possession ultimately, and Browning put it out for a throw in. So Drogheda, good hustle from them in the Sligo defensive third, and now it'll be McNally to take the throw in. Well, if Drogheda were to find a winner here, this place would go absolutely mad. But from where they were at 2-0 down, I think both the players and the supporters would be happy enough with a point. Sligo, for their part, probably not so much. Adegboyega rolls it down the line to McNally, who'll take the throw in. Into the last 4 minutes now. Good win in the air from Pineacker, drops, Bulger gets ahead, and Max Matt is back there helping his defence up towards Martello, and he's been dispossessed by Adegboyega. Weir, big switch from him over towards that left-hand touchline. A nice knockdown from Rooney in towards Markey. Deegan, he just had to stretch for that one a little bit. And now Sligo can break with Levac. That's a good strong challenge from Luke Heaney. Levac's on his backside, but Heaney won the ball. And in fairness to Frank Levac, he wasn't looking for the free kick. He got straight back up. Buckley chests that one down. Bulger. Morahan. Davis comes across to close him down. Here's Max Matta on the left-hand side. Floats with him. That's a lovely ball towards Martello. It's just beyond him. Couldn't quite get to it. It's the right idea from Matta. A really nice floated ball across, and I think again a slight bit of a breeze here may just have caught that one, and it drifted away from Pedro Martello. And out for a goal kick to Drogheda United. Inside the last 3 minutes of normal time. We'll have a little bit of injury time, I suspect, due to those knocks that Pineacker took and 1 or 2 other little stoppages, substitutes and everything else. So we might see 3 or 4 minutes going up on the board at full time. Long clearance from Wogan. Pineacker just out muscles Foley there. He wanted a free kick. He's not going to get one, and you're not generally going to get one for something like that. Just a little bit of a collision, and Pineacker just a little bit too physical there for Foley on that occasion. Wogan has it in his hands. He's got Martello just to about 10 yards away from him in case Wogan does anything rash. It's a long clearance from the 17-year-old youngster from Staban, and Buckley hooks it away. Weir returns it with interest, and it's Buckley again going up for it with Davis. Throw into Sligo. Kevin Doherty not happy with that one. I think he thought it was a throw into his side, but it's gone to the visitors. And I can tell you now, Shelburne are 2-0 up against Cork City. Sean Boyd has doubled their money there, and Bohemians are 2 up against UCD. Falabi with the first and the second goal. The identity of the goal scorer yet to be confirmed, but 2-0 to UCD. 0-0 at half time. It looked like maybe UCD were going to spring a surprise there, but Bohemians 2-0 up in that one now. And it's 2-2 here on a very eventful evening at Weavers Park. Throw into Sligo on the far side. We've had just about 89 minutes here, so 1 minute of normal time to go plus whatever the referee decides to add on. Martello flicks it on Mata. Can't get there, but it breaks to him. And now Deegan with a battle. Oh, that's a strong challenge from Cawley, and it was a fair and honest attempt to win the ball from Cawley. He was just a split second late, and Gary Deegan knows a thing or two about tackles like that. There was no nastiness in it from Cawley. I kind of hope the referee doesn't show me a yellow card here, but he might well do. I think he's just let him away with it. He knew himself as well as soon as he made the challenge that he was just a little bit off with his timing, David Cawley, but there was no sense of any kind of malintent there from him. So good call from the referee. He's had a good game tonight, I think. On the whole, Paul McLaughlin, maybe one or two decisions Sligo might feel should have gone for them, particularly those collisions with Nando Pinacker, but got most of the big calls correct. There'll be a throw in on the far side, and we're going to have 6 minutes of added time now. The board has gone up on that far side, so 6 minutes to be added. I did think we might have 4 or 5. I didn't expect 6, but there were a couple of lengthy stoppages, as I said, to add on for those injuries to Nando Pinacker in particular on 2 separate occasions, so probably a fair enough amount. So there's time yet for somebody to snatch this one right at the death. Foul on Buckley there, and Sligo will have the free kick. Nicholas, I think, will come out and take this one from just inside his box, level with the penalty spot. So still time for either side here to find themselves a winner, and for a player from either side to make themselves the hero. Flicked on by Martello over the head of McNally, but he'll get there ahead of Cawley, and he just lets that run out for a goal kick for his side. I did say earlier on a win for Drogheda would move them ahead of Sligo in the table. It looks like it's going to be as you were in terms of the league positions for those two. Wogan will take the goal kick. Adam Foley he's standing in an offside position as such, but of course he can't be offside from the goal kick, and he's trying to just get in behind here, but Branafalk does well to take that one down, and then Adegbayega gets a good right foot on that one. It breaks for Cawley. Deegan gets across and puts the pressure on. Martello wins a good header, tries to put Matta in behind down that left hand channel, but Manny Adegbayega got across well and got it away. You throw in, which Morahan will take back towards Pinacker. And his pass is a heavy one. It's gone out for a throw in. Well, we can forgive him that. He's been in the wars tonight, the big Kiwi centre half, and now Warren Davis is making a nuisance of himself, and Pinacker is just trying to brush him aside. Good flick on from Davis there. Branafalk does well to come across and skip around a couple of tackles. Deegan played forward by McNally, and again it's one for Markey to chase, but Gary Buckley just shepherds that one back to his goalkeeper. And we've had just about 2.5 minutes of the 6 to be added on. Bowled out towards Morahan, almost sold him a little bit short there, McNicholas, but Morahan did well to scamper forward and scamper back in fact and gather it in. Martello, a handball from him, it looked like. The referee gives the free kick, and Conor Keeley approves of that decision. Martello just collides with Manny Adegbayega. He gets up, he'll be okay. So Andrew Wogan will take the free kick. Next up for these sides, well, it's Drogheda heading up to Dalymount Park next Friday to face Bohemians, and Sligo will take on St Patrick's Athletic. And as it stands, both sides will be going into that game off the back of a 2-2 draw here, but there's still time. We've had just over 3 minutes of the 6, so another 3 plus a bit of change to go here. And here's Levac making good ground down that right hand side. He runs into a bit of traffic. It's broken to Martello. Can he make an impression here? He tried the little back heel, but it didn't come off, and it's been cleared by Drogheda. And here comes Sligo again though. Browning, Moorhan, just inside his own half of the field, plays it forward towards Matta. He just cushions one back to Browning, and his pass, well, quite sure what he was trying to do there. Ended up just booting it high into the air and into the hands of Andrew Wogan. 2 minutes to go. 2-2 is the scoreline. Time running out now for both sides to snatch a winner here. Played forward by Heaney, but I think that's going to find its way back to McNicholas, who comes out and gathers it. Bowls it out to this near side to Moorhan. So it looks like Sligo's long wait for an away win is going to continue for another couple of weeks. We said it was the 1st of May since they last won on the road in the league, and they looked like they were going to do it tonight, but Drogheda United battled their way back into it with a little bit of assistance, it must be said, in the first goal from Sligo. But here comes Branifolk now. Can they snatch a late winner here? That's good defending from Davis, who got back to help out, and Wogan gets it clear as far as Markey. He takes a touch, and now there's a chance for Drogheda to break down the left hand side. Is Pineacker going to get there first? He does. That's really good defending from him. It just looked like the pass to Heaney was a little bit heavy, and Heaney did his best to get onto it, but really good defending from Nando Pineacker. He's put his body on the line tonight on more than one occasion for his side. Drogheda United will have a throw in. We're into the last minute, and David Cawley is now down, and he's going to require a little bit of attention, I think. On comes the physio for the Sligo midfielder. 31 years of age, David Cawley, but has still been going strong even in the latter stage of this game. He gets up, and I think he'll be okay to carry on. The referee will add a little bit of extra time on. We're going to have one more change here. It's going to be Cawley making his way off, and James Finnerty, just back from injury, man who's hails from not a million miles away from here down in Screen. So the Meath man is on, and he will slot in there, just provide a little bit of extra security for Sligo in these last dying seconds of the game. We've had the 6 minutes, but there will be a little bit added on for that stoppage. Can Drogheda somehow snatch a winner here? Here's Markey down the left hand side, still has it under fierce pressure from a couple of Sligo players, but managed to get the ball into the box. It's going to break for Deegan, and it breaks into the hands then of McNicholas, and that should be that, you would imagine. Sligo Rovers may get one last chance to attack. And Moorhan under severe pressure from two players there. That wasn't the greatest of passes to him, but he did really well to step between the two Drogheda players and get it away. Now here comes Sligo Rovers down the right hand side. Surely this is the last chance for a winner. That's really good defending from Heaney, who got back to make that tackle. Branifolk knocks it forward, but there goes the full-time whistle. It's ended here, all square. An incredible second half, really. Sligo Rovers went in 1-0 up at half time, and they were good value for that lead as well. It was Stefan Radosavljevic's fourth goal of the season, which gave his side the lead in 24th minute. 1-0 to Sligo Rovers at half time. An own goal from Conor Keeley just shy of the hour mark after a brilliant whipped free kick from Johan Branifolk made it 2-0. Adam Foley pulled one back in the 69th minute after a mix-up in the Sligo defence, and then Dale Rooney got on the end of a knockdown from Warren Davis to level things up. And then we had a frantic finale, but neither side was able to get the winner. Rooney's equaliser coming in the 79th minute, and both sides hitting the deck after the full-time whistle went. Absolutely spent after that game, and it has ended here all square. Sligo will no doubt feel like they should have come away with all 3 points, particularly with the manner of the concession of the first goal. And then the second one was a good ball in a knockdown in the box. Again, they'll be probably a little bit disappointed with the defending. Davis getting up to win the header, knocking it down, and Rooney coming in at the back post to nod it home. Did hit McNicholas on the way in, but he wasn't able to keep it out. Such was the proximity of the Drogheda player to him when he had the header. The Sligo fans are applauding their team. They've seen a much improved performance tonight, it should be said. I'm sure the Sligo supporters watching on will agree with that. They were much better than they were last week, but they just couldn't see it out. And Drogheda United, to their credit, battled back into it And they're over applauding their fans here. They've given their supporters something to cheer about here. Drogheda United, it didn't look like that was going to be the case. And Sligo Rovers made it 2-0, but they've battled back here. And they have rescued a point. So both sides will stay where they were in the table, and will go on to games for Drogheda against Bohemians away next week, and Sligo on home turf against St. Pat's. Kevin Doherty just applauding the supporters here and congratulating his players. The Sligo players over on that far side are trooping off. They'll be disappointed, no doubt, with the result, but they can be much happier with the performance tonight than they were last week, that's for sure. And so here we have the main incidents from the game here again. This was the opening goal from Rado Sabljevic. It was good play down the right hand side. Bulger slipped one in, and it was a lovely little pass around the corner from Barlow, I think. Shot from Cawley came back off the post, and Rado Sabljevic finished it. No chance for Lucchini on the line, just couldn't keep it out. Such was the power on the shot. That was 1-0 in the 24th minute. Fourth goal of the season for the Faroese player. That's how it was at half time. 1-0 to Sligo Rovers. And then the second goal came after that foul on Levac by Dale Rooney, and the ball in from Johan Brannefalk. You'll do well to see a better delivery this week or any week. Really whipped it in with such pace and power that there was no way it flicked off the head of anybody. It was more than likely going to head into the direction of the goal, and that's exactly what happened. Brannefalk took his time over the delivery, but when he did eventually strike it, hand went up in the air, whipped it in, ferocious pace on it, and it was Conor Keeley got ahead in it. No chance for Andrew Wogan to keep that one out, and you knew by the reaction of Rado Sabljevic that it wasn't him that got the final touch. He was straight back to congratulate Brannefalk for the ball in. 6 assists for him this season. And then this was the lifeline for Drogheda down the left hand side. A lot of their best work does come down that side of the field. It was a ball through, and Pineacker just hesitated. McNicholas didn't get out, and Markey just got a toe on it, broke to Adam Foley, and he finished it. But you'd always say the defender should just deal with those balls and get them away, ask questions later. And this was the equaliser. It was a great little knockdown from Davis, and Rooney just getting in ahead of Bulger at the back stick and heading it home. But maybe Sligo Rovers will be asking how Warren Davis was jumping unimpeded in between two centre backs in the heart of the 6-yard box. But that's how it's finished. It's been a really entertaining second half here, and both sides, well, I won't say they're both happy with it. Drogheda will certainly be happy with a point considering they were 2-0 down. Sligo Rovers, I'm sure, are ruing, coughing up a 2-goal lead. But that's how it's finished here at Weavers Park. Drogheda United 2, Sligo Rovers 2. Thanks very much for watching, thanks very much for listening, and a very safe trip home to all those Sligo Rovers fans over in the away section. We'll be back again in the next few weeks with more League of Ireland action. Have a very good weekend.